Other news now, Governor of Nasarawa State Abdullahi Sule has identified poverty and economic inequality as a major cause of insecurity and kidnapping in the country. He spoke on the third day of the 59th Annual General Conference of the Nigerian Bar Association in Lagos. Senior political correspondent Ayodele Uzugbakun was there.
It's the third day of rigorous brainstorming sessions at the 2019 Annual General Conference of the Nigerian Bar Association. With a theme facing the future in mind, a session on kidnapping and terrorism attracted the interest from participants. Guest speakers dissected what might have led to the rise in the rates of kidnapping, banditry and terrorism.
To rise up to the challenge and take up your rightful position in our national affairs, that way we'll be able to guarantee a peaceful country. It is only when the country is peaceful, devoid of terrorism, devoid of kidnapping, that meaningful development can really take place.
Pervasive material inequalities and unfairness. The rich keep getting richer. The poor keep getting poorer. The roads are bad. The transportation system is bad. You see big houses everywhere, potholes everywhere. You can't get transportation to wherever you're going to. This is one of the main causes of kidnapping and terrorism.
A theory says religion is the opium of the people, not the desire of the people, opium of the poor. You see how our churches are always filled up, how our mosques are always filled up when they're having crusades and the rest of them. It's because people have material problems that they think the divine can solve.
For the governor of Nasarawa State, who was the guest at today's event, insecurity cannot be combated through military force alone.
We are trying to look at the root causes of this kidnapping and the rest of that. In most cases, it is commercial. People are looking for money. So we try now to bring opportunities for people. Rather than kidnapping, what can you do else? We give them in the area of agriculture. We open opportunities also in Nasarawa State to do that.
At a different session, the crisis of sexual and gender-based violence in communities was in focus.
We are inundated with reports of one form of sexual or gender-based violence against women and children or the other. And this has reached alarming proportions in our country. And so as citizens, we should be very concerned.
The issue of women's health. Nigeria represents about 2% in the whole world. We are next to India in maternal mortality. We can't have 2030 if we don't address the deaths of women, which are preventable, which are needless in Nigeria.
The conference will come to an end on Thursday as the association will hold its annual general meeting and issue a communique at the end of the 4-day event. Ayodele Uzugbakun, TVC News, Lagos.
Well, our senior correspondent Ayodele Uzugbakun joins us now for more on this. Ayo, it's day 3 of this NBA conference, and beyond talking about terrorism, they are also talking about sexual-based violence. In all of the discussions, where do the citizens come in, and even the lawyers themselves?
Also, lawyers are worried across the country. They're worried about the state of insecurity. They can only practice law where there is law and order and security in the land. What they are saying now that the insecurity in the land has even affected their trade, and they cannot just fold their arms, not to prefer solution to government, not to tell government what is really happening. So they've identified the state of insecurity, and they are saying the root cause of insecurity is inequality in the land, is poverty, is unemployment. So they went to the nitty-gritty to tell government to actually prefer a solution to say, look, for you to deal with this rising insecurity, rising banditry, a case of banditry across the country, you have to do something about the social welfare of the people, you have to do something about the economy, and you have to do something about the high rate of unemployment across the country, Bosse.
All right, so that is cutting across different areas for the government. One of the speakers there spoke about the rate of maternal mortality and the need for there to be synergy actually to achieve the SDGs by the year 20 2030. Beyond the government, where do people come in?
That's Dr. Abiola Akiode in our paper today when they were talking about gender violence and maternal mortality. And when you look at the statistics, you see that Nigeria ranks second in terms of maternal mortality across the world. So what they're saying that government should pay more attention to primary, secondary and healthcare facilities across the country, and government should raise the level of awareness across the country to reduce the high rate of maternity in the country.
And senior political correspondent Ayodele Ozugbakun joined us from Lagos.